Hey everybody, I'm Daniel, and today I'm going to be going over the crossbody ride with my grappling dummy. We shot a crossbody ride video earlier with Ryan, with somebody that's live who's actually better at it than I am. But I thought that you guys may want to see. This is a perfect time to use your grappling dummy, and I'll show you also a twister drill from the grappling dummy, which is good to do because your grappling partners are not always going to be very tolerant of you practicing the twister on them. So we're going to start off just from here from a regular back attack position. If our opponent drives to our strong side, which is my choking arm side, and we go to the crossbody ride. Well, first let me explain. I always want to be in my body triangle if I can, right? So if I can't be in my body triangle for some reason, sometimes I'm with a guy, like the other day I was rolling with a guy, big offensive lineman, huge freaking dude, and I could barely touch my feet together, and my legs are super long. So sometimes you have to go to the crossbody ride in order to make connection on him. So going back here, if he falls to this side, first off, I want to take my knee, put it behind his butt to get him some elevation, and then I'm going to hook my feet together right here in this lockdown position. What I don't want is, I don't want floating legs like this. I want them down on the mat, and no matter what he does, I want my feet on the mat if possible. If they're up like this, he's going to cause me all kinds of problems digging in here between my legs, trying to break them apart and stuff like this. So I want my legs on the mat in this lockdown position. If he falls to this side, this is a relatively easy position for us. We're generally speaking just going to be attacking just like we would from the back. We can always go back to our normal attacking positions with the body triangle or anything else. But this side is pretty easy if they fall to this side. They're probably not getting away. I'm attached to this hip. This shoulder is being controlled by this underhook. It's a pretty simple operation from there. If they fall to the weak side, so we fall to this side, we want to make sure, if we can, to keep our head on this side of our opponent, but sometimes he just beats us. So we come this way, I'm putting my knee behind the butt again, getting my lockdown position. A lot of times he's going to really try to beat my head with his head and really try to get away to this direction, okay? So I want to try to gather the head as much as I can, keep control of this leg and this opposite side shoulder the best that I can. If I can keep this on this side, it's fine. Like, I can still go through all of my choking sequences from here. If he's out this far, of course, we can pin this arm to our chest, and as long as I have this shoulder and this elbow is unable to hit the ground and I have this hip locked down, he's not going to be able to escape. And then this is the tangent part where you can practice the twister from here. And the twister is, I have this type of position. I have my hands around his wrist. Now this dummy is great for the twister because look how short his arms are. So if I can get this on him, it's going to be advantageous for me with a person with normal size arms. I'm going to take my wrist. I'm going to change my grip from this to a diving type grip underneath. I'm going to gain height like this. So the move is gain height like this. This is a critical portion. If I try just to do this, he's usually not going to give up his arm very well. I have to gain height and dive under. Now, as soon as I get around his head and in this position, I can let go of this wrist. As I let go of this wrist, you'll see a lot of guys who will finish the twister from here. It can happen, but it's better if we go head to head with the twister, and it's even better if we can connect like in a rear naked choke, except with our hand on our head, okay? Remember from this position that our goal is to tap him out, but some guys will not tap to this, okay? Some guys are just super flexible or super tough, and they won't tap to this. So I have to remember, originally this being the guillotine in wrestling, this is a pinning position. So I have to be able and willing to transfer out of this position. If I have this set up like this, and he is not tapping and I just don't have it right, or he's super flexible, I have to be able to go to a guard passing position. It's great if I can dive here for this underhook, but a lot of times he won't let me have it, okay? So sometimes I'll have to stay locked up. I'll unlock my feet. This foot will slide underneath the other one, and I'll end up in this leg drag position. So now, from here, this is gonna be very, very difficult for him to come back. Both of his knees are facing away from me, and I can go into a typical guard passing situation from here. So that, like I said, the grappling dummy is a great thing to practice the twister on, because if you do this over and over and over with your partner, he's gonna have to take some Advil the next day. I mean, I can only tolerate a few twisters a night until I'm done. Now, tangentially, if we are in this position, and I have him, a lot of times a guy will explode to turtle for this, okay? So he comes up to turtle, and he's turtled like this. Of course, what we want to do is power half and break him down, okay? But a lot of times, if he's explosive enough to come up to turtle, he's also explosive enough to keep turning the other way to our weak side diagonal control. So he's gonna come over and come to this side. Now, I have this hip. I need to have this side controlled, okay? I can either control it with the power half, I can control it with the backpack, but I have to be controlling this side shoulder and this side hip. Now, my challenges are, he can get his butt to the mat and start moving out. So this isn't great for me. Whatever I have, whether it's the power half or my seat belt, I have to be ready to dive under here, just like our other video we shot, come up with my head height and my hip height, dive back down with my leg, and roll him back to the other side, either in my body triangle, or I can just come back to my cross body ride on the other side. So that's some ideas for you guys just to practice for with your grappling dummy for the cross body ride. Like I said, a lot of partners are not going to be super tolerant of the twister and the cross body ride as you're doing drills and drills and drills. And I know a lot of times, frankly, guys just don't go over it very much in their schools. So those are some ideas. Give it a practice. Let me know what you think.
Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work, I get off the rock, I move on.